Hello and welcome to another Maximum Power Up video. Today it's not looking at a Super Play magazine, it's just going to be having a look at a few of the pickups and things that have been kindly given for free by a couple of different people in the last few weeks now, because obviously I've just been concentrating on any videos that I've gone up on the channel. I've been looking at the Super Play magazines, so I just want to say again thanks to anyone who's been watching them, anyone who's commented on them. I'm hoping to obviously get through them all as quick as possible. I should get up issues 15 and 16 this week, trying to get up 2 or 3 a week at the moment. And I enjoy, flicking through them myself, looking back at the games that are out, certain months and stuff. But anyway, that's there for anyone who wants to, watch them. As well as that, this week we will have our Gremlin episode out, episode 20, featuring Mark Cardesty, who obviously has done the Gremlin in the Works book, and Sam Dyer from Bitmap Books, as well as my interview with Barry Leach, who worked for Gremlin for some time back in the early 90s. And as well as that, we're working on episode 21, talking about PS2 games, so our favourite PS2 games, so that should be quite interesting. And again, we have obviously got the community involved, so it's a couple of days still to tell us your favourite PS2 games. I think it's Wednesday night we're recording. Anyway, I'll just have a quick look and go through a few of the pickups that I've had recently. This may have actually been a few weeks ago, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. This was 75p from Cash Converters. Yeah, it was probably about a month ago actually when I got this, but I thought that I did own it. I just hold it up there just so you can see some of the games on the back. I must have had it when I had my original Xbox, because I thought it was already on the shelf, but for 75p take the risk, definitely. But you got like Mortal Kombat games on there, Gauntlet 2, Spy Hunter 2, Total Carnage, Arch Rivals, Pit Fighter, which I know isn't great, Hard Driving, and a load of others. And obviously for 75p it works out pence per game. But also I found these in a charity shop in really good condition for £1 each. Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands for £1, and also Bioshock, the first one, which I've never played because I've only ever played Infinite, again for £1. So not bad. I know they're bringing out the definitive editions on PS4 at some point, but yeah, it's something that I do want to obviously give a try. As well as that, also picked up Broken Sword Sleeping Dragon for 50p on PC. I've never ever played this one. I know I've went for a bit more of a action adventure type game rather than your point and click adventure. And also picked this up for £1. Jaws Unleashed. Can't really comment on it. Not had a chance to even try that out yet. But yeah, surely it's worth £1 anyway. Next up, something very kindly given to me by the owner of our local game shop, Games and More in Wigan. He knew we were doing the Gremlin episode. So this is a game called Bulldog for the Commodore 64. It's ex-library stock, as you can tell with the sticker on the back. But again, looking inside it, like I said, the case isn't in fantastic condition, but you've got the instructions there, and also the cassette, which has got a sticker on. I think it's the code for the library. But yeah, for obviously a freebie. It's not a game that got mentioned when we were after people's favourite Gremlin games, but always worth having a quick check anyway. Next up, we've got a massive thank you to Alex from Nintendo Arcade, or also known as Nintendo Arcade. He very kindly has sent me a few Game Boy Advance cartridges. after doing our Game Boy Advance episode, it's been our most downloaded episode, which is fantastic to see. So I still need to sit down and actually do some gaming rather than just obviously videos and, you know, nipping out and going on travels and whatnot. So it sent me, this got mentioned by quite a few people, the Kurian, can't pronounce that well, so again, that's absolutely fantastic. And also the Mario Golf Advance Tour. See, I'm glad that I've actually still got my Game Boy Advance, which is the little sort of clear purple type thing. Again, like we mentioned on the show, the last Game Boy really to obviously use batteries as well. And finally, he also sent me this game. Now, this got mentioned a few times, Rebel Star. So that's one that I'm definitely looking forward to. Very good things about that. Well, very good things about them all. So obviously, we'll get stuck into playing those. I'm on way obviously to London for this coming weekend, so who knows, might be able to take a Game Boy Advance along. I know obviously you got the lighting problem, but you know it's nice and easy to pack away. Anyway, as well as that, this weekend I went over to Bolton Comic Con. That's run by a local guy to us. Great day out. Obviously not a massive place, but just good to catch up with a few mates, have a quick look around the stalls, because obviously you've got things like your bead art, a few games there, but no specialist game stalls this time, sadly. And Sawthorne Retro Games sometimes there, and again, Games and More from my town of Wigan. But I did manage to find this, which is Wild 9 on PS1. That was £3, done by Interplay. Quite an early PS1 game. I think it's 1998, possibly 99. No, 1998. I remember playing a demo of it. Then just have a quick look. One of the hinges is a little bit knackered. For some reason, there's the Crash Team Racing instruction manual in there. But it has got the Wild 9 manual and also the disc. So I do need to obviously get that played, definitely. Whether it's either go and get me a PS2 sorted or get me a PS3 set back up. But yeah, it's a game that I've wanted. I've seen it in things like Cash Converter, and I've always wanted like a tenner for it for the last couple of years, and it's never sold for a tenner. So really happy to obviously pick that up for a good price. As well as that, they had a bit more of a comic-y type thing now, obviously with being a Comic-Con. So I'm only going to just briefly show this. I picked up issue 1 of the X-Files comic magazine, quite topical at the moment with the relaunch. It's signed by Charles Adlard. I think he was an artist for the American one, not necessarily the English, but I will have a look at the credits, the writing and drawing credits in this. But it's still got the badge attached to it as well. I think it's over 20 years old now, coming up to 21 years old. Done by part of the manga range as well. So yeah, thought it was worth picking up for £3. Also picked up these two. A couple of old Marvel UK Transformers comics, again signed by one of the artists, and it's been fantastic looking through those again, just having a quick look at some of the toys advertised inside and everything like that. And it was just great to obviously have a chance to speak to one of the artists and find out how he got into the business and things. For someone else there as well, a guy called Mark Silk, who voiced Johnny Bravo, also did some of the voices in the game Black and White on PC, so he had a few interesting stories to discuss. Finally, we also had a couple of Beano artists. I think that's something we've all bought at some point in our lives, and they nicely gave me that as well, a bit of a look back special issue 75th anniversary. Looking back at some of the very old Beano comic strips and everything like that, and then obviously going for a bit more modern things and showing some of the old, covers of the comics and things. But again, I know it's not really a comic podcast, so I'm not going to discuss that anymore. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic getting to see how the artists obviously did it all. And finally, the last thing that I picked up fairly recently was, I don't usually buy this magazine, but I got it. It was issue 300 of Games Master magazine. So I remember getting issue 1 back in, when was it? 1992, possibly? Oh, not 1993. So yeah, it started in 93. It says on the cover there. And you also get some Top Trumps type cards, which are always good to have, just have a bit of a mess about and stuff. So yeah, 300 issues now of Games Master, one of the few magazines that are still actually going. And I mainly got it because they show quite a bit of the old, the old games as well. They interviewed 3 of the old editors, just basically show that a bit. So obviously going back to the late 90s there with Mario 64 on the cover, and then what else have we got there? We've got going for total 5 on the cover. Obviously that's a more recent one. We've got Manhunt down at the bottom. Cover there for PS3 and everything like that. And then I'm only going to just look out really the retro stuff, because that's the main reason why I bought it. And they have the 100 games that shook the world list, going through all the different decades in Games Master's lifetime. So I'm not going to really go into that, right now, just in case anyone does obviously want to read it. It's quite interesting reading anyway, because like I say, not many magazines are still going from years ago. Anyway, that's all from me, and again, keep watching videos, keep listening to the show. Again, if you can, leave us an iTunes review or subscribe to the channel. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.